is about my life as I've lived it, more about the formative years before I became a comedian, because I kind of wanted to write a book about what makes a comedian, what goes into a comedian's personality, how do you become a comedian, rather than what happens when you're working as a comedian, because it's very hard to write about success and make it interesting. And yeah, that's kind of what it's about. It's about, you know, maybe not being the most normal person in the world and trying to survive in the world and how it works. Being offered money. No, the money was part of it, and the other part of it was vanity. And I always thought I had a good story to tell. For instance, when I was in Borstal for a year, I was in there, even amongst all the sort of stress of trying to not be beaten up and you know, do my plastering course and all that. I was thinking, this is an amazing story, because essentially I went in there, I was fairly middle class when I went in, and it was the time of the black and white riots, and all the riots were going off inside the Borstal, and the ghost town was number one, and I was seeing how the system worked, and I learned so much about humanity there, about people and how they react in situations. So I'm glad I've written that up. We used to have these lovely holidays. We went to a place called Bigbury-on-Sea in Devon, and we stayed at a farm where they made their own butter, and they had animals, and they had a little pond. We would play in the hay and stuff like that. And I remember one year I bought physical graffiti on a cassette by Led Zeppelin, which was 1976, and that was the last year we went, and I took it down on a little old Philips tape recorder. You press like that, rewind, fast forward, press it, and I used to listen to that sitting in a barn. And it always reminds me of that holiday, that album. Yeah, it is very difficult, because it's not like I'm 7 years clean and of drinking drugs and I'm going, that was me and now I'm this person. I still partly am that person. I don't think you ever, you know, I'm in AA now and so forth, but there's kind of a lot of stuff in there that was quite hard work at the time, and also I have to try and make it funny, and if I wrote it really seriously how I felt about everything, there'd be a lot of, oh, it was terrible, it was awful, I felt crushed, you know, which kind of is not, unless you're Morrissey, it's not really a very interesting book, and people, you know, they want a funny book, so I'd write some things, and then I'd go to bed that night and be lying in bed going, oh, I wish I'd punched him, or why don't I just tell him, or, you know, I don't know, because as I say, I'm now going around talking about it, and part of it, yeah, partly I did partly, but partly you are great. You're sort of digging up old wounds, aren't you? I'm certainly a lot more easy talking about the comedy side of it than I am about the bedwetting. No, the bedwetting stuff's funny because it's so long ago, but some other stuff in there, you know, the stuff with my family's difficult because my mum and dad, I've got the relationships are not perfect. You know, and in a perfect world, I go, hey, let's talk, and we'll all hug each other once, and all read the book together, but that's not going to happen. In fact, my dad's got a copy, I don't think he's going to read it. He came along, I did a reading last week, and my dad came along, and he didn't stay for a drink, so we'll see. But that's just him, I think he went home because he had something to do. I'm going to write 25 novels that are all basically the same, and make loads of money.